Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about measurement, determinants, and regional variations in agricultural productivity. This is an analytical framework for geographers, economists, and regional planners. Now, defining the core concept of productivity. Okay, productivity is equal to output. Output means yield, crop volume, monetary value divided by input. Input means land area, labor hours, and capital and fertilizers. Okay, that means productivity is equal to output divided by input. Okay, productivity is not an absolute measure. It is a reflection of the ratio between inputs and outputs. The choice of denominator dictates the specific metric used. Example: output per hectare, output per worker, net income per hectare. The productivity paradox. Year 1, inputs is equal to 1 unit, yield 10 tons. That means productivity 10 tons. That's why ratio is 1:10, ratio is 10. Again, year 2, inputs 2 unit, yield productivity 20 tons, and ratio is equal to 1. Ratio is equal to 10. If a farmer doubles the output but also doubles the inputs, labor, fertilizer, water, and machinery, the net change in productivity is 0 because the output to input ratio has not changed. Okay, in both here, year 1 and year 2, ratio is same. The primary measurement matrix. Output per unit area, the most common intuitive measure. Yield measured in physical units, tons per hectare or kilogram per hectare for individual crops. Then labor productivity, production per unit of farm labor expressed as output per worker or person per day, critical for systems where labor is the primary limiting factor. Multi-factor productivity, TFP, output relative to a combination of inputs, land, labor, capital, fertilizer, irrigation, usually expressed as an overarching index of efficiency. Okay, these are 3 basic types of primary measurement metrics. Now, advanced geographic and economic tools, standardization, assessment in grain equivalence, according to Bach in 1967, converting diverse crop outputs into a common unit for irrigation. Then efficiency, input-output ratio, according to Khusro in 1964, captures whether production increases are input driven or reflect genuine efficiency gains. Spatial mapping, ranking coefficient methods, Kendall 1939, Stam 1960, ordinal ranking of aerial units to map regional productivity patterns. Demographics, carrying capacity of land, Stam in 1958, estimating how many people a unit area can support based on output and dietary norms. And financial, monetary quantum, monetary outturn, and net income per hectare, according to Hussein 1976, Jasbir Singh 1985, and converting physical outputs into monetary values to capture crop composition and profitability. Okay, the limitations of measurement. Denominator is bias. Different denominators, area, labor, and capital, can generate entirely different regional productivity rankings. Price effects. Monetary measures are heavily influenced by market fluctuations, often reflecting price volatility rather than real changes in physical yield. Spatial aggregation techniques effective at the micro-level farm district frequently fail at national scales due to extreme heterogeneity in climates and cropping patterns. Data quality accuracy is inherently reduced by incomplete records on inputs, the prevalence of informal labor, and undocumented smallholder practices. These are some limitations of measurement. The sustainability blind spot. Short-term increases in yield achieved through excessive input use, heavy fertilization, aggressive irrigation, can easily mask long-term ecological degradation. Soil degradation and rising salinity may resist as improved productivity in simple input-output formulas today, while fundamentally destroying the inherent agroecology potential for tomorrow. Measured input-output ratio, soil health, and long-term capacity. Okay, determinants pillar 1, environmental and physical factors. Water volatility, droughts, prolonged rainfall, early late monsoons, frost and heat waves dictate baseline risks and depress productivity in advanced years. Then capacity of the land, the inherent productivity limit productive limit of the earth, soil depression, soil depth, texture, organic matter, and nutrient status determine the ultimate ceiling of agricultural potential, regardless of human intervention. Then pest and diseases, infestations alter the core ratio by simultaneously reducing final yields and forcing higher input requirements, biological, chemical control measures. Determinants pillar 2, technological and managerial interventions. Access to technology, mechanization, improved seeds and irrigation directly increase labor productivity and reduce wastage. Regions lacking mechanization remain highly labor intensive with lower baseline productivity. Innovation and management, the adoption of advanced crop management, strategic farm planning, crop rotation and companion planting radically improves resource use efficiency. Then education and training, skilled well-informed farmers are significantly more likely to implement best practices and correctly deploy modern technologies. Determinants pillar 3, socio-economic and political infrastructure, market access and public policy, supply and demand, minimum support prices, subsidies and loan waivers artificially alter farming incentives and influence what crops are intensively cultivated. Then systematic pressure, access to credit, financial illiquidity allows farmers to invest in modern equipment and vital inputs that boost long-term efficiency. Infrastructure development, efficient transport and storage are critical for preventing post-harvest losses before the product reaches the market. And land tenure, secure property rights provide the essential incentive for farmers to invest in permanent land improvements. Optimizing the ratio through smart agriculture. Okay, site-specific application, matching fertilizers and water delivery precisely to crop needs to eliminate waste. Field level tracking, strict record keeping for operations and input consumption to prevent the overuse of chemical nutrients. Decision support tools, utilizing predictive models for pest forecasting and input seedling to drastically lower crop losses. Remote sensing, integrating real-time weather forecast and satellite imagery to perfectly time sowing and harvesting operations. Practical applications of productivity data. Identifying yield gaps, locating the exact disparities between actual production and potential production to guide local extension services. Estimating carrying capacity, calculating sub-regional food security and population support threshold to inform human geography and demographic planning. Then delimiting regional zones, categorizing tracts into low, medium and high productivity to effectively target infrastructure investments, routes, storage and irrigation. Assessing profitability, evaluating the real-world effectiveness of government subsidies, loan programs and market interventions over time. Policy implications and strategic recommendation, deploy multi-indicator approaches, never rely on single metrics, combine physical yields, labor productivity and multi-factor indices to obtain a balanced view. Target interventions, direct capital to areas with demonstrable potential for productivity gains, abandoning uniform untargeted subsidies. Strengthen extension system, actively close the information gap between academic research innovations and daily farmer practices. Demand resource use efficiency, prioritize funding for precision fertilization, micro-irrigation and integrated pest management over pure input expansion. Then monitor environmental externalities, strictly ensure that short-term yield gains are not permanently degrading long-term productive capacity. The foundation for regional planning, measuring agricultural productivity is the essential first step in understanding regional inequalities because no single technique is perfect. Planners must combine simple spatial measures with composite indices and monetary evaluations. And mastering the balance between simple inputs and outputs is the ultimate prerequisite for sustainable economic growth and long-term global food security. Okay, physical yield, economic value and ecological sustainability comprises effective agricultural policy. Okay, that's all for today. If you have any doubt and query, just let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Thank you.